Welcome back. I have an amazing talent in the house. She has a PhD. Let me start with that, and that means I have to be on top of my game. I have to make sure I can at least step up a bit. Chika Unigwe, she's a writer, an amazing writer at that.
Thank you.
Winner of a BBC Prize, I think.
Yes.
You were shortlisted for the King Prize as well in 2003.
Welcome. Yes. Thank you very much.
How's it
Thanks
been?
for having me. It's been good. It's nice being back in Nigeria.
I'm going to start with a very superficial question.
I like superficial
a lot
questions.
of African writers or people of African descent, especially the females, always have either the natural hair or dreadlocks. What does that have to do with writing?
It's got nothing to do. Well, you need a lot of time to write, and in my case, I've got 4 kids.
Okay.
I can't afford to be. I can't afford to be running around thinking of what to do with my hair. When I've got 4 boys to look after, they've got to be taken to school. I've got to make breakfast, lunch, dinner. So my hair has got to be really convenient, and this is
just very convenient
for me. Yes, up and move.
Very
You don't have to
interesting.
do anything. So
It actually does come across as, I mean, it helps further the African. How do you guys say it? The African
identity.
Exactly, identity. Great to be here. You've said in the past that some of your role models, Chinua Achebe, Buchi Emecheta, Flora Nwapa, those are amazing writers. Which one of them, first of all, is your role model?
I think the first writer I ever met was Flora Nwapa.
Okay.
And so in a way, I'd say she gave me permission to write, because she was the first African woman I met who was a writer and who would describe herself as a professional writer. So she gave me permission to write. And then I came to Emecheta much later, and I was just so blown over by the fact that this was a single woman, single mother, 5 kids, living in London, putting herself through school and writing. And when I think that things are a bit, too difficult for me, I just think of Emecheta. So she motivates me. And of course, Achebe, first African writer to be published in English in 1958. So I can't pick.
When you call names like this, do you feel pressure to sort of meet up to that standard?
No, definitely not. I mean, the only pressure I feel is against myself. I'm a very self-doubting writer. I'm not a confident writer at all. And when I write, I'm assailed by doubts. And so the only pressure I feel is to make sure that at the point when my agent is selling it, or that I'm happy with it.
That's a very interesting point you made there. You're not self-confident. A lot of people don't write because of that. So how do you work around it?
I'm an idiot. I don't let the lack of self-confidence in my writing stop me. And the good thing about prizes is that they validate you in a way, so that somebody else has read this and has thought, well, this deserves a prize. Sort of validates you and gives me the courage and the ego boost I need to carry on writing.
Interesting. You write in English and Dutch.
Yes, I do.
Where's the Dutch from, first of all?
I moved to Belgium 17 years ago. I got married in my final year at university to a Belgian man, and Dutch is his first language. We moved to Belgium. I had to learn Dutch. And the only way to break into the writing culture or the writing scene in Belgium was to write in Dutch.
Which is more difficult for you now, English or Dutch writing?
Dutch.
How's
Yes.
that? So how do you manage?
No, but I mean, I also write differently when I write in Dutch, because Dutch is my 3rd language.
Okay.
English is my stepmother tongue, so it does come a lot more natural to me to write in English than in Dutch. When I write in Dutch, my writing style is different as well, and I find it very difficult to translate myself. So when I write in Dutch, it's mostly for commissioned works or for pieces that I'm never ever going to translate into English.
You said 3rd language, and you only mentioned 2. So what is the other one?
Igbo.
So when are you going to write in Igbo? Or why don't you write in Igbo?
Yeah, but I mean, the burden of colonization, or the legacy of colonization, means that English was imposed on us.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's still the same up until today in Nigeria, but in my days, if you went to a good school, you weren't even allowed to use your local language in school. So you had to write in English. And so English is basically the working language of many Nigerians. And anybody who can read Igbo can read English. And if I were to write in Igbo, I wouldn't find a publisher. And you just sort of marginalize me a lot more.
Is that also because you might be worried about the markets,
about
the money?
Well, it's my job, of course. So I mean, it's my job. I
Yes.
write to make money as well. I think the whole, poor writer idea. I mean, it's a very romantic idea, but it's not realistic. If you've got to help put food at the table, we've got 4 kids at home, so I can't let my husband work alone.
Exactly.
I have to contribute as well. It's the 21st century.
Picking up from that, first of all, about the money parts.
Yes.
Let's talk money.
Okay.
You won $100,000 last year at the NLNG prize, right?
Yes.
Where is it?
Maybe we shouldn't talk money.
Congratulations on that.
Thank
though.
you very
Did you have
much.
to pay tax on that? Did you keep all of it?
Well, Belgians.
Nobody's listening, just me and you.
Belgians like taxes a lot. So.
Okay.
But their taxes work for them.
You could have just done it here. I mean, you could. It's Nigeria. We just find a way around keeping the money. What are your thoughts on Nigerian contemporary literature now? How the scene in Nigeria now?
It's exciting. I mean, I read many contemporary Nigerian authors, and I'm just blown away. There's so much talent here. There's so much happening. So many good writers. So many young publishers as well. Parisia is going to publish my second novel in Nigeria. They did Helen Habila's novel. They published Emmanuel Dumas' Farad. And they're doing amazing work. There's Cassava Republic, there's Farafina. And it's just interesting. This is a very interesting time for Nigerian literature.
Something interesting. In your book on Black Sister Street, you used a lot of swear words.
No, one character uses a lot of swear words.
Have your children read the book?
No, they're too young.
Okay. Are you not worried about... in Nigeria, for example, there's really no sort of regulation with children picking up anything they see. Does that worry you sometimes as to how it might be interpreted by people who see that? And especially in Nigeria, we would like to be very puritanical, like, oh my God, she's swearing.
I mean, on Black Sister Street isn't for kids. It's a novel. It's an adult.
Okay, even
novel.
adults,
It's
do you worry they might judge?
I don't think you can write like that. I can't censor myself because I'm worried about what people would think. On Black Sister Street is about 4 prostitutes. And as a writer, you have to be constantly true to your characters. I could not create characters who spoke like nuns because then it wouldn't fit into the book. And by the way, it's just the one character who swears a lot, and it's got something to do with her background. But something very interesting happened, and when it came out in the US in 2011, I think, the New York Times ran an extract, and all the swear words were blank.